Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this week's episode of the cooking segment right here on The Breakfast Show. So today we're bringing you a new and exciting recipe that you can make in the comfort of your own home. So I'm joined by Parvinder Multani at the Milan restaurant. Let's have a look what he's brought for us today.
Taking this forward, our cookery series, where we have been trying to do these food items which are cooked traditionally by our elders, by our mothers, and giving this a new twist to make it slightly more palatable, more glamorous. Now we come on to a dish which is a part probably of our food, which we have eaten right from our childhood. Probably we're going to eat all the way to our old age, and that is tikki and chole. So making that tikki and chole dish slightly more interesting, it's not so much to do with the making of the dish. I think it is the presentation and how the final outcome will be. That is what I would actually be concentrating on. When it comes to the ingredients, I can tell you the same ingredients, the Pandora's box of all the spices that we normally use, which are in our cupboards: coriander powder, cumin powder, red chili powder, haldi powder, salt, some breadcrumbs. If you don't have dried breadcrumbs, we can go for fresh breadcrumbs. That's what we discussed last time. And our potatoes, good quality boiling potatoes, which we have boiled, cooled down, and mashed them, grated them, mashed them, added the binding so that they're ready to go. And this is where the tikki would come into. The other items that we have is chole. How do we make the chole? Exactly the way our mother makes it. Chopped onions, chopped tomatoes, chickpeas. We brown the onions in the oil, we add the tomatoes, we add all the spices, we put the chole and we cook it. We cook it till they are cooked well, they're dry. We don't want too much of liquid around our dish. We want it more dry, but not too dry. Chole sometimes when they're cooked too dry can be a bit of a problem. But no, what we're trying to do out here is a very simple dish done in a very simple way, but just presented a bit differently. One thing about this dish is, and this is something which goes back into the culinary science that as a chef I've learned, when you present a dish, what you're trying to do with the dishes, you're trying to do some garnishes. You are trying to mix and match the textures. The tikki is deep fried, so will be crisp. Chickpeas are going to be cooked with the sauce, so are going to be stodgy. But there has to be some crunch which has to come in. And I'm going to get the crunch from the red onion ring, which again is a part of the food. Generally, when you go to a roadside eatery in India, they do a chole on the plate, they put the tikki on top, they put some chopped onion, some chopped chilies, some chopped coriander, put some sauce on and give it to you. It tastes brilliant, but probably does not look that good. Out here what we're going to do is, we're going to make sure it tastes the way we want it and it looks the way we want it. This is how we're going to go forward. We're going to brown the onions. As I said earlier, we're going to brown the onions, add the tomatoes, add the spices, add the chickpeas, add a bit of liquid in case we want to by way of water, cook them well, dry them, and make sure there is no liquid left in the pan. You can keep this on the side and then you can start working on the tikki. Tikki, where the potatoes are ready, we're just going to make a small portion. And again, we're not going for bigger portions, we're going for smaller portions. Probably we'll serve 2 tikkis in a portion this time. So look at about 60 to 70 grams of weight of the potatoes on it. We go exactly the way we have learnt at home. We have seen our parents doing it. So what we're going to do is make the potatoes, make sure the binding goes correct, take it between the palm of your hand and just flatten it. Make sure the rounds are even so that there is no open edges where the tikki can get spoiled. So this is how the tikki will be. We're going to make 2 of them. I'll put this on the side here, get one more ready for you, And this is going to be the basic tikki channa dish that we are used to eating. The tikkis are molded, and we got 2 tikkis ready, and they're ready to fry. We're going to fry the tikkis, and we got the chole which are cooked and kept on the side. Just to cut down on the time and to come back onto the basic idea of presenting it, I'm going to move away from here now and come back and start presenting the dish when I will have my tikkis deep fried on my side. I will have my chole cooked on my side, and a couple of sauces which I think are very necessary to make this dish really come out and present it very well. Coming to the final part now, and this is the most important part. This is where we give the twist to our old traditional food. This is where we're going to make the food look more glamorous, make the food look more presentable, and for that we need to use a few techniques. Now these are the techniques where you see different colors coming, different sauces coming, because these are the sauces which have to complement the dish as well. It is just not put there because it has to go there or it looks pretty. No, the idea of a garnish, an idea of an accompaniment is the accompaniment has to go with the food and take the food that step up. This is what we're trying to achieve. As I said earlier, we're not going to go for some fancy plates or something. We've got a simple white plate, and I'm more than happy to work with it, because anything I do in this white plate is like a white canvas, and I can do my painting, I can do my presentation, I can do my job on it. Another thing what we use is, and this is many of the chefs nowadays are got used to, is the tools. The tools are the ones which come close and bring you close to your presentation. What I've got is a mold, a simple stainless steel mold. I'm going to put, you saw the earlier mold in the first episode was a heart shaped, and this is a round one. I'm going to put this round mold exactly in the center here. I've got my chole cooked and kept on the side. I've got my tikkis fried to give the crunchiness to the food. I've got the onion rings. I've got some green leafy coriander. If you don't like chopped coriander, if you don't like chopped coriander, add it to your dish. You don't have to worry about it. This coriander leaf can be removed anytime from the food, but let it be there for the final dish, because the color is going to come from the coriander there. Now, when I take this dish, I'm going to take this chole and I'm going to put them in the center of this mold and just make sure they're evenly placed. As I said earlier, the chole should not have any liquid. If you have any liquid on the chole and on the plate, it is going to go all over the plate and it's going to make the plate look more messier. The idea is it has to be a clean, nice plate. Coming to tikki, I'm going to take 2 tikkis as a portion this time. Normally my portion is about 3 pieces. This time it's going to be 2 pieces. Don't forget, the chole is becoming a part of the dish. That's what you're going to eat. Your portion size is controlled, so you don't have to worry about that bit as well. I'm going to put the tikki like this and put the second tikki on top of it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a pyramid. On top of the pyramid, I'm going to take these onion rings, put them, open them up slightly, take a few coriander leaves, then I'm going to put them in the middle so that I can make a sort of a bouquet. This is what I would call a bouquet, not a bouquet of flowers, but something very similar to this. Now, again going back, this is the tamarind sauce. I've got that in a bottle. It's easy to present. It's easy to control the flow. I'm going to put this on top here, but I'm also going to drizzle it on the plate. Now, the contrast is going to come when I put the mint sauce. I'm going to put the mint sauce on top, and I'm also going to put the mint sauce, drizzle it across the plate. The idea is that when you're going to eat the tikki and chole, you will also need some more sauce, and that is where the drizzling is going to come from. You've seen on the earlier episodes, we have tried to do a different presentation of every plate. This is another presentation, and then what we do is we put the garnish and put this on top. As we put the garnish on, let me clear the table for you. As I put the garnish, now when I try to remove the mold, this is how your dish is going to look. Now tell me, is this a better way of eating tikki chole, the way your mom makes it? Yes. Take the cooking, present it yourself, make it more glamorous, make it slightly looking more better, and this is what your dish is. Tikki Channa, presented in a slightly more nouvelle way.
There we have it. That was our recipe for this week. Join us again next week for something new and different that you can make yourselves. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.